Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to this week's news roundup. Kicking us off then, and Fernando Alonso has said that he won't be racing in Formula 1 post-2020. The Spaniard made the statement after being asked for his view on the plans to introduce 18-inch wheels to F1 in 2021, as well as reducing the width of the front wheels and banning tyre warmers. Speculation over his short-term future has already been rife over the last few months, and many are expecting him to retire at the end of this season. But speaking to racefans.net about the proposed changes, Alonso said, "I think it's not a big thing. I will not be here in 2021, so I don't care. I don't think it will change very much. There's already a lot of series that don't have tyre blankets, so I think whatever tyre manufacturer it will be, I think they will get on top of that. The rims they've kind of tested a couple of years ago as well. I think it's quite easy for the teams to adjust to that." Alonso did also call for Formula 1 to address the wet weather tyre rules for future practice sessions. In Germany, Pirelli declined to make an extra set of wet weather tyres available for FP3, which resulted to next to no running on the Saturday morning, something which led to criticism from many. Alonso continued, "When it rains in FP3, we have 50,000 people in the grandstand watching no action because we don't have an extra set of tyres to run in FP3. The tyres are the ones you use in qualifying and in the race, and in case of a wet qualifying or a wet race, you save the tyres and we have 50,000 people here and millions of people watching on television with no car action. So we need to fix some other things before the future rules." Rain is once again forecast for this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix, so there could well be limited running again and yet more frustration from spectators at the circuit, as well as many fans watching on TV. Sticking with Alonso, and the Spaniard has backed teammate Stoffel Vandoorne following the Belgian's difficult first half to the 2018 season. Vandoorne has picked up just 8 points so far this season versus his teammates' 40 and has come under increasing criticism from some quarters. However, Fernando Alonso insists that Vandoorne has proven that he belongs in Formula 1 and will be closer to him once McLaren have solved the downforce issues with the car that Vandoorne has struggled with of late, particularly in Germany. The double world champion said, "I don't think Vandoorne's reputation is going down. The car is what it is. In Silverstone, it was the same case. The car is underperforming. We as a team are trying to find the problem and to have both cars in the same condition and the same performance. He's shown his talent already. No need to prove anything. Being champion in every single series before Formula 1, and he arrives now in a difficult car with some difficulties last year and this year as well. He's okay, and he will be very close to the performance as soon as the car is delivering the normal performance. But if you see previous teammates, they were a lot further back than Stoffel. 2014, it was 6/10 or 7/10 to Kimi every race. It's less than that now." Many believe that following his difficult first half to the season, Vandoorne will be replaced in 2019. And that speculation has increased following comments made by Zach Brown at Hockenheim that the team were talking to a variety of different drivers. So then, taking all of that into account, what do you think of Vandoorne's season so far? And if you were in McLaren's shoes, would you keep him or drop him? And if you would drop him, who would you replace him with? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Plans to hold a Grand Prix in Miami next season have now been abandoned by Formula 1 after talks and complicated negotiations reached a point where staging a race as early as 2019 could result in a suboptimal street circuit. It was also confirmed that, aside from those concerns, negotiations had taken too long for the race to make it onto next year's calendar. Attention has now switched to getting the race signed off ready to be staged in 2020 instead. Formula 1 Sean Bratches stated, "Whilst our preference would have been to race in Miami in 2019, there was always a point by which delivering the best possible wheel-to-wheel racing experience for our fans, drivers and teams wouldn't be possible in the time available. We have now reached that point as far as racing in Miami in 2019 is concerned. However, we are taking a long-term view, and as a result, we have decided in consultation with the Miami authorities to postpone the sign-off until later in the summer with the aim of running the first Formula 1 Miami Grand Prix in the 2020 season." The proposed Miami Grand Prix has hit multiple stumbling blocks since negotiations began, and there have even been several changes to the initial track layout that was put forward. But Liberty Media, who want to grow the sport in the US, will be keen to get these plans and negotiations over the finishing line as soon as possible. It has been confirmed this morning that McLaren have landed the signing of Toro Rosso's James Key, with him taking up the role of technical director. However, although a McLaren spokesperson has confirmed the appointment, No other information has been released and there is no confirmation of a start date. McLaren have been focused on restructuring within the team following a disappointing first half to the 2018 season. The team have already axed former Chief Technical Officer Tim Goss and ex-racing director Eric Boulier, and it is reported that the next to go is Chief Engineering Officer Matt Morris, who has apparently resigned from his position. It has been a poor season so far for McLaren, who of course ditched Honda Power for 2018 in favour of Renault, hoping that it would lead to a significant improvement in the team's performance and see them take the fight to Red Bull for third in the Constructors' Championship. However, although there has been some improvement compared to recent years, the team still sit just 7th in the Constructors with 48 points on the board, which sees them 163 points shy of Red Bull, the benchmark that they had set themselves over the winter, and a team that of course used the same Renault power. This has all led to a number of big changes in the team, with more set to come. Last month, Zak Brown stated that the reasons for the team's current underperformance were systemic and structural, and that they required major change from within. James Key is a highly regarded figure in the F1 paddock and has been continually linked over recent years with some of the sport's top teams. His departure will be a boost for McLaren, but will come as a huge blow for Toro Rosso. 46-year-old Key has been one of their biggest assets since he became technical director at the Italian team in 2012, and his move to Toro Rosso came following stints with Sauber, Force India and Jordan. And finally, we end on a very sombre note. Yesterday, Sergio Marchionne passed away at the age of 66, following complications after surgery on his shoulder, which, according to reports, led to him suffering an embolism and lapsing into a coma. Concerns did begin to rise over the German Grand Prix weekend when the Italian-Canadian was stood down with profound sorrow at the helm of Ferrari and Fiat Chrysler companies, but no official word on his condition was forthcoming at the time. Since his passing, the Formula One world, including management teams and drivers, have of course been paying tribute to Sergio Marchionne. Chase Carey, Formula One's chairman and CEO, said, "We are deeply saddened by the passing of Sergio Marchionne. He was a great leader of not just Formula One and the automobile world, but the business world overall. He led with great passion, energy and insight, and inspired all around him. His contributions to Formula One are immeasurable. He was also a true friend to all of us, and he will be deeply missed. At this difficult time, we extend our deepest sympathies to his family, friends and colleagues." FIA President Jean Todt also paid tribute, stating, "It is with great sadness that I learned that Sergio Marchionne tragically and unexpectedly passed away. He dedicated himself fully to turn around the Fiat Chrysler Group and put all his energy to bring Scuderia Ferrari back to the top. He was an endearing, upstanding and brave man, an unconventional and visionary leader. His death is a considerable loss. On behalf of the entire FIA community, all my thoughts go out to his family, his friends, and his Ferrari and Fiat Chrysler Group teams." And on their official Twitter account, Ferrari said, "All of us at Ferrari feel privileged to have worked alongside a courageous leader like Sergio Marchionne, a man of enormous humanity and intelligence. In this moment of sadness, we join with his family in remembering him with immense affection." That is it for this week's news roundup. I will be back tomorrow shortly after FP2 with a live roundup of both Friday practice sessions. And of course, don't forget to join me over the rest of the weekend for several live streams, including qualifying and race watch-alongs. And of course, as ever, a debrief of Sunday's Grand Prix. In the meantime, though, you can follow me on social media. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.